My thoughts around disruption are, number one, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's already happening. And I think it mostly derives, if you look at other forms of disruption that have happened in other industries, it's the one common key thing that's common among all of it that I've seen is that disruptors look for waste. And where companies operate in an inefficient manner, that opens themselves up for waste or for disruption for someone to come in and do that job better than the incumbent. If you look at our industry, we were designed around wasting about half of the product that we actually purchase. If you look at the average system across the country and examine the load factor of how much of the power that we purchase that we're actually using to serve our members, it really comes out to be about 40 or 50%. That leaves a whole lot of waste. Now with disruption, it's causing us to re-examine how we operate. With distributed generation, renewable resources, energy efficiency, we're able to take a strong look at how we've always operated and push out the waste. So while it may seem that disruption is a threat, I view disruption as a complete opportunity, and we're experiencing some of that here at Roanoke Electric. We've got 4 or 5 major projects that are on the table right now as we speak that are dealing directly with waste. How are we going to become a more efficient operation? And there's a linear progression of that. It starts with the member consumer, and it comes to the distribution co-op, and we have to have a strong and consistent relationship with our generation and transmission company. When you can align the needs and the demands of the consumer or the member with the operations of the distribution co-op and the generation and transmission system that serves that co-op, you're able to squeeze out waste. And that's where a lot of our focus is going now. We're finding some tremendous opportunities with that. We've heard a lot about battery storage, solar, distributed generation. That's one area that we're going right now. We have 4 battery storage and solar projects on the table right now that we're getting ready to implement. And that in itself is going to lower our cost of power and give us a steady cost of power for that portion of our portfolio for the next 20 years. That's one area. Energy efficiency has been another area that we've been very, very aggressive. The waste that happens with our members translates to higher costs for us. If you think about the low-income members who have inefficient houses that are wasting energy, who may have baseboard heating in the wintertime, that's causing the demand for electricity for our system to go higher. And we're paying a pretty expensive price for that peak or excess energy that we purchase. So by helping our members become more efficient, it's helping our system become more efficient. So that's another way that we're cutting costs in our operations. And then, of course, the third way that we're having to do that is implementing more robust communications across our system. We're putting broadband out so that we can more efficiently manage the AMI system that we're getting ready to implement. So we needed a robust communication system as a part of our operations, and we factored that into the business model, and it gave us some safeguards because we're not trying to justify or pay for broadband deployment based on subscriptions to internet. About 2/3 of the cost is being alleviated through system improvements. So we approach broadband as a system improvement versus another service that we're offering that our members didn't have, but we got the dual benefit of doing it. And just doing that gives us more data with what's happening on our system. So communications and then implementing smart metering and having the engine back at the office, which is where SCDC comes in, to give us the ability to analyze the tons and tons of data that all of these systems are giving us so that we can make smart decisions. It's giving us the ability to really know what's happening with our system and make decisions that can lower our costs. We have pretty clear goals of where we want to be. First, it starts with the cooperative. We want to continue to advance technologically with the improvements we're making so that we can remain a reasonably cost, preferably a low-cost provider of electric service. In 5 years, we will have fully deployed broadband connectivity, not just to our members, but to several members and citizens who have been waiting for broadband access for years and not able to get it. And then we would hope that we will be able to work with the non-traditional partners that we have been engaging with over the past 7 or 8 years to show them that here's a huge opportunity that they can leverage the work that Roanoke Electric is already investing and doing in the community to provide even more assistance that can help move the needle forward even further as it relates to better jobs, as it relates to a cleaner environment, as it relates to more technologically advanced healthcare, and anything else that will improve the quality of life. And it gets us right back to where we were 80 years ago when cooperatives were formed. We were not formed to be electric companies, we were formed to be the economic engines in a community. So we're very committed to making sure that that remains a part of our focus moving forward. As far as the vision that I'd like to see moving forward within RECA and my part in that, is I really want to emphasize the opportunities that we have in front of us to really take this brighter energy future that we have in front of us to another level throughout cooperative nation. And what I mean by that is that because there's so much disruption happening, because there's so many changes happening in the industry, consumer expectations are changing, environmental concerns are looming, we have so much distributed generation, renewable energy, all these things are happening. That's the message I want to make sure everybody understands is that is not a threat, that is an opportunity. And we do have a brighter energy future if we will embrace what's here. And to demonstrate that, I want to really show some clear examples of how that's happening across the country, not just in North Carolina, but we have some very strong players in this segment of the industry all across this nation. And I think they deserve to be highlighted. And NRECA has an infrastructure that can really continue to support that, specifically in the area of business and technology strategies. With the technology that's coming through that organization and the support they're getting from outside entities to build this technology and use it to work with organizations like SCDC for the benefit of the electric cooperatives, that's amazing. And that needs to be highlighted in a very positive manner so that all of the members of NRECA can really see the benefit that's coming out of their trade association. The thing I would leave this conversation with is our future is very bright. We do have a brighter energy future ahead of us, only if we embrace the change that's in front of us and not pretend that disruption is going away. It's here. And we have the infrastructure, the partners, the network, the ability to take it on better than anybody else in this industry. And we shouldn't shy away from it. We should aggressively move forward and not be subjected to change, but make the change.